Today's video, yet another edition of the weekly condo market update. Let's get to it. Back with another video here for you guys. Today you can find my contact information in the description box with regards to my Gmail, my Instagram, and my office. Feel free to get in touch with me with any questions you may have with regards to the Toronto real estate market, condo market, and anything more. Lastly, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Obviously, as I always say, you're not obliged to do so, but it goes a long way and it's much appreciated as well. Anyways, let's get to this edition of the weekly condo market report where I go through certain condo numbers as I do in other videos, but this is a set edition that comes out every Friday. In today's video, we're actually going to go through the entirety of April in terms of condo prices downtown and break them down by bedroom numbers. So usually sometimes in these editions of this series, I break it down on a weekly basis for certain areas, North York, downtown, Richmond Hill. But in today's episode, we're gonna actually go look at April in its entirety, the median and average condo prices by bedroom number for the entirety of the month of April. Another thing we're gonna also do is take a look at the first 13 to 14 days of May thus far. This video is being recorded on May 13th. You may be seeing it on May 14th. So sold data of May 14th is not accounted for in this video. So as I covered in my monthly series of the Toronto Real Estate Resale Market Report, the TREB Resale Market Report, the average prices for the entirety of April for downtown was $802,000 and the median price was $705,000. Now that's for all property types, right? So in today's first, we're going to break it down by bedroom numbers. And as you can see the numbers on the screen in this chart right now. Now in total, there was 604 transactions, and this does not account for, by the way, condominium townhomes, just exclusively condominium apartments, and also accounting for lofts as well. As always, where we see the most transactions taking place in this month, as you can see on the chart, 144 and 146, or 142 rather, is with the one bedroom, one washroom, and then the 1+1, one washroom. That's where the most inventory is. That's where builders build the most. That's where the most demand is, believe it or not. Coming in third in the terms of most transactions and also most inventory is always the two bedroom, two washroom units. When we take a look at the numbers where the most volatility occurs is at the 1+1, two washroom unit. So not the 1+1, one washroom, but 1+1, two washrooms, as I have segregated them on the list here. And there's a large gap between the average selling price and the median selling price. There's a lot of assumptions we can make, but in this case, the assumption I think is safe to make is that of the 1+1, two washroom unit types downtown, there is more variety in terms of space, in terms of, one unit that's 1+1, two washroom can be 600 square feet, and the same unit type is 900 square feet. That range doesn't really exist with all the other unit types. Not to say there isn't, once again, a range of units that are one bedroom, one washroom, and there's a long range of how big the upper end of that is and how small the lower end of that is. But especially so with 1+1, two washroom units, that's where the sizes of those units vary a lot. And obviously, this list only breaks it down by bedroom numbers and washroom numbers, right? We don't really account for age, parking, exposure, all the other important factors that I always say are key, and I always cover it in other videos, in some cases in this series as well. But this is the simplest ways to break them down is by bedroom and washroom numbers. Now, when we look at the first 13 days of May, we see thus far that the average and median prices are less. The biggest increase in price thus far, once again, the first 13 days of May, is in the two bedroom, two washroom category. And to be fair, once again, this is not an exact science because ideally we should be comparing the first 13 days of May to the first 13 days of April. However, that would provide us with more specific and exact answers. This, in this case, doesn't necessarily point us to the wrong direction. It just doesn't provide us with the most accurate answer. It's just a, order of accuracy. It's one above. There's a more accurate way to look at this, which would be the first 13 days to first 13 days. But it's not as if the assumptions we can take away from this would be wrong, which is on average and the median prices have fallen, but thus far, as I said, the two bedroom category has seen the biggest upward movement. And when we look at the 1+1, one washroom, we see the average price when we compare it to April, we see a difference of $6,000, wherein last month we were looking at $685, now we're looking at $691. And this pretty much tells us that the 1+1, one washroom has held pretty steady give or take a couple of $1,000s here and there. But when we're looking at, once again, property prices, this is somewhat a sign of a stagnation, even though it might be 1,000 up here, 1,000 down there, right? It's negligible amounts we're discussing here. Looking at these first 13 days and the number of transactions occurring, what I'm going to predict is that we're on pace to end May on a slight improvement in terms of average prices and median prices in downtown Toronto, according to the downtown Toronto condo market, by end of May when we look at the numbers for the entirety of May and June. So just a slight improvement. I think what is obvious and what is clear is that the bidding wars have ceased just a tiny bit for downtown Toronto condos. And I predicted that would happen in my previous videos. Not to say they don't exist, but they're getting a little bit less and less. So stay tuned for more videos coming next week. And yeah, as always, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Thank you for watching and have a great day.